Our oceans are teeming with toxic and deadly creatures, many of which remain undiscovered. But even among those we do know, some have already claimed hundreds of lives. From a seemingly harmless, tiny creature you might have eaten to a shocking discovery made by Brazilian fishermen, here are the 20 most toxic and dangerous fish in the world. Number 20. Wolf eel. Despite being called a wolf eel, this creature is actually a fish. It was named wolf eel due to its insanely powerful jaws and razor-sharp teeth. It evolved to have such a scary set of weapons in its mouth because it mainly feeds on hard-shelled creatures such as crabs and abalone. Obviously, it needs a very strong bite to crush through those sturdy shells. Not that anyone in their right mind would see one of these terrifying-looking animals and feel the overpowering need to go and pet it, but just in case, if you see this fish in the ocean, don't touch it because it could leave you without a hand if you do. Also, wolf eels can be gigantic. An adult may grow up to 8 feet long and can easily weigh up to 41 pounds. Their entire skeleton is made out of cartilage, making them faster and sneakier than they look. They are extremely flexible and can fit into small crevices. In other words, you won't see it coming. Their bodies are also covered in slime, which functions as an immune system but also makes them virtually impossible to catch. And why would you want to catch one of these hungry, angry, bloodthirsty fish in the first place? Number 19. Cone snail. When people think of snails, they usually visualize a tiny, slow bug. And if that person is French, they might also think about how delicious they are when cooked in garlic butter. But the reality is that there are over 40,000 different species of snails on this planet, and they're not all as harmless as your ordinary garden snails. The cone snail is one of those snails you really do not want to mess with. It is literally a 6-inch toxic killer. But don't worry, you probably won't find them in your garden. They only live in the waters of Southeast Asia. This is an underwater perfect predator that successfully hunts down fish on a daily basis. The cone snail is equipped with a large harpoon made out of modified teeth that harbors a toxin strong enough to kill a grown man. This lethal toxin has the ability to instantly paralyze its prey, making it very easy to feast on them while they're still alive. Yikes. Cone snails aren't in the habit of attacking humans, but it's important to note that they're quite difficult to see when hiding under the sand. If someone happens to walk by barefoot, the snail will defend itself with its only weapon, the lethal poison. If not treated immediately, it can easily result in tragic death. Number 18. Flower urchin. Toxic sea urchins are quite strikingly beautiful, but for every ounce of beauty they have, they also pack a pretty dangerous secret weapon. Talk about beautiful but deadly. See those hundreds of petal-like flowers they have? Well, that is where their venom comes from, and it is so potent that it can easily kill an adult person. They're found primarily in tropical Indo-Pacific waters, so if you ever wander around there, be sure not to get too close to these beautiful yet hostile sea bouquets. They aren't very big, and thankfully, their colorful exterior makes them quite easy to spot. They possess hundreds of little spines ready to sting whoever dares touch them. Animals that coexist with them know this very well, so much so that you'll rarely see fish swimming near them. In nature, when something is very colorful, it's usually to warn off predators, letting them know they're venomous. The flower urchin is no exception. They're pretty to look at but never to touch. They can be found alone or in groups and have a preference for coral reefs, seagrass beds, and rocky or sandy environments. Beware, if you wander into their territory, never get too close to them, as they can actually shoot venom-loaded spines at a short distance as well. Number 17. Blue-ringed octopus. Blue-ringed octopuses can be found in tide pools and coral reefs in the Indian and Pacific Oceans, all the way from Japan to Australia. Although they're quite a docile species, when handled badly, they can feel threatened and change their color dramatically. That's when it's time to go because their neurotoxin can be fatal to people, so it's always best to leave them be. The blue-ringed octopus is exceptionally mesmerizing. It has beautiful electric blue rings all over its body with a yellow background. But as with most extremely colorful creatures on this earth, that's a way to warn off predators because they usually harbor very powerful venom, strong enough to kill anything in their natural habitat. They are one of the most venomous marine animals in the whole world. Not only are they masters of camouflage but also of disguise. They can imitate a very large range of creatures, rocks, and algae. So, if you ever catch the telltale blue and black rings of this octopus in the corner of your eye, it's better to get out of Dodge fast, and never, ever touch it. Number 16. Great barracuda. Because of its size and speed, the great barracuda does not have many natural predators, and they can be extremely dangerous for humans as well. This species of barracuda can reach up to 5 feet in length, so yeah, they are quite large and strong. And because they are carnivorous predators, they also have massive teeth in their mouths. Altogether, it's a bad combination for whoever is unfortunate enough to cross their path. Their bodies are literally designed for speed, so you would never see them coming. They are, after all, one of the fastest fish in the sea, capable of swimming at speeds of 36 miles per hour. To be even scarier, Some species of barracuda form schools of thousands of individuals. Just imagine what it would be like to have such a massive group of fish swimming at you at such insane speed. They have never attempted to feed on people, but if they're provoked, barracudas tend to be pretty aggressive, even with humans. So, if you happen to run across one while swimming, it would be very much advised to get out of the water, unless you're a highly trained diver with experience with these animals. Oh, and whatever you do, do not touch them. That would make them very angry. Now it's time for today's topic. It was a calm morning off the coast of Brazil, near a fishing hotspot frequented by locals. A group of experienced fishermen prepared for their day, joking and readying their nets. The ocean, vast and inviting, seemed to promise a fruitful catch. But something felt different that day, a strange quietness that even the seasoned crew couldn't explain. Seabirds hovered silently, and the waters lacked their usual hum of life. As they cast their nets, the boat shuddered violently. Something immense had bumped it. One of the fishermen, João, peered over the edge, his pulse quickening as he saw a massive shadow moving just beneath the surface. At first, he thought it was a whale, but as it rose closer to the boat, he froze. A dorsal fin, larger than anything he'd ever seen, broke the surface, gleaming black and jagged with scars. The crew scrambled as the shadow circled their boat, revealing brief glimpses of its enormous body, pitch black, muscled, and stretching far longer than their 40-foot vessel. João whispered, "It's a shark, but not like any I've seen before." As it disappeared into the depths, they were left staring into the vastness, shaken and speechless. When they returned to shore, their story spread like wildfire. Some locals dismissed it as a misidentification of a whale shark, but João insisted. That wasn't any ordinary shark. It was the black demon, or maybe even Megalodon. Months later, other fishermen reported similar encounters, boats nudged by unseen forces, and glimpses of a colossal shadow stalking the waters. Experts speculated about a melanistic great white or a misidentified species, but whispers of a predator from another era refused to fade. The fishermen of Brazil now tread their waters with caution, knowing something ancient and massive might still call the deep its home. Number 15. Moray eel. Moray eels are very fast swimmers, so you'll never see them coming. Because they are covered in a mucus layer, it's extremely hard to get a hold of them. They are incredibly slippery. Moray eels are very nice to look at, but only from a safe distance. They are truly intriguing creatures, but they definitely need their space respected, and here's why. In Indonesia, some divers saw a gigantic moray eel attacking and eating a white-tip shark. While their sharp, curved teeth make them fearsome predators, it's their second set of pharyngeal jaws that truly set them apart. These jaws shoot forward to grab prey and pull it deeper into their mouths. Always scuba dive with someone experienced when you enter their territory. These eels are also nocturnal hunters, which means their already stealthy movements become even harder to detect in low light. If they can take down a shark, they'll have no issue taking down a diver. Their diet often includes octopuses, crustaceans, and smaller fish, but their opportunistic nature means they can attack almost anything. They're colorful and beautiful, but they have sharp teeth and will appear out of nowhere to bite if you get too close. They mainly hide in coral reefs and crevices in the rocks, so it's very important to watch out for them and keep your hands to yourself. The combination of their agility, strength, and sharp instincts makes them one of the ocean's most fascinating yet intimidating residents. If not, be prepared to have a full set of knife-like teeth sinking into your limbs. Moray eels are highly skilled hunters, and if they feel threatened, they tend to be quite short-tempered. Number 14. Shortfin mako shark. When you ask most people which shark is the most dangerous, they'll shout, without a hint of doubt, the great white. However, many people don't know about the shortfin mako shark, which is, in fact, the most agile of all shark species, making it technically the most efficient hunter of the ocean. Not only that, but it's also the world's fastest shark. This magnificent animal can reach speeds of over 60 miles per hour. Its speed allows it to ambush prey with precision, leaving them with virtually no chance to escape. That means this shark exceeds the speed limit of most highways and is half the freefall speed of a skydiver. Its streamlined body and powerful tail fin are perfectly designed for acceleration and agility, allowing it to chase down even the fastest fish like tuna and swordfish. If you think about it, that is hands down terrifying. The largest shortfin mako shark ever caught was 14.6 feet long. With a metabolism that requires high energy intake, this shark is constantly on the hunt, making it an even more formidable predator. To make things even scarier, these beasts can be found all over the world, from California to Argentina to the South Pacific. Scientists compare the mako shark to a cheetah because of its amazing speed, only with much larger teeth and a lot more muscle. Their sharp, serrated teeth are perfectly evolved for slicing through flesh and bone. Just imagine being in the water, minding your own business, and having this apex predator with razor-sharp teeth coming at you at the speed of a fast car. The stuff of nightmares, truly. Number 13. great white shark. And now let's talk about the absolute ruler of the seas, the almighty and hands-down terrifying great white. I don't know who needs to hear this, but if you happen to see one, get out of the water as fast as humanly possible. Whatever you do, do not attempt to touch it. Sharks are not the mindless killing machines people seem to think they are, but they are still insanely powerful apex predators that could take down anyone in a matter of seconds. So, yeah, please do not pet the gigantic creature full of rows of sharp teeth that weighs almost as much as a pickup truck. Ideally, you don't want them to know you exist. They can propel through the water at speeds of up to 15 miles per hour, and can even leave the water completely, breaching like whales when attacking prey from underneath. Terrifying, huh? Out of all annual shark attacks that occur each year, about half are attributed to great whites. An attack by one of these beasts is no joke. They have over 300 serrated, triangular teeth arranged in several rows. Their sense of smell is nothing short of exceptional. They can exceed 20 feet in length and are pure muscle and skill. If you encounter a great white and survive to tell the tale, it's only because the shark wasn't threatened by you and decided not to attack. That is the only reason. Number 12. Stingrays. Stingrays are closely related to sharks, which means they are extremely skilled predators and very dangerous animals. They don't usually attack humans, but it's never impossible that it could happen. Trust me, you don't want to be the one to test their patience. Stingrays also like to bury themselves in the sand to hide from potential predators, so it can be hard to spot them. This means that if you're scuba diving one day and see the sand moving, it might be a stingray, and you should get out of the water immediately, or at least swim as fast as you can in the opposite direction. Did you know that stingray skeletons are made out of the same bone-like material that you have in your ears? It's called cartilage, and it's a semi-flexible protein found in some animals, including us. That's why they're soft and malleable and can swim so gracefully. But don't be fooled by their ballerina-like movements. At the end of their tail, stingrays have a very powerful toxin-filled barb. When they feel threatened, they can lift it up and injure their potential predators. Whatever you do when swimming near a stingray, don't act in a threatening manner. Otherwise, you risk exposing yourself to serious injury, so much so that you could potentially die from it. Number 11. Oceanic white-tip shark. Meet one of the most dangerous sharks to humans ever. This extremely large predator is easily recognized by its long, light-tipped paddle-like pectoral fins and, more specifically, its rounded first dorsal fin. The white-tip shark prefers living in the upper layers of the deepwater ocean areas. They move slowly, but don't be fooled by their apparent laziness. They are extremely powerful and dangerous. White tips are opportunistic hunters, which is very bad news for humans. Why? Well, they are known to have attacked survivors of ship and plane wrecks at sea. If that's not terrifying enough, they're also suspected of being responsible for several unrecorded human fatalities. Just imagine how horrific it would be to survive a plane or shipwreck, only to be attacked by a 13-foot-long apex predator looking for a little snack. The horror movie writes itself. They're also extremely aggressive and tend to dominate feeding frenzies. Some experts believe that the oceanic white-tip shark has attacked more humans than all other shark species combined. However, as much as they are a danger to us, we are responsible for their population numbers dramatically decreasing, all because their large fins are highly valued as the key ingredient of shark fin soup. This has led to them being overfished to alarming levels. Number 10. Needlefish. Needlefish have very elongated and slender bodies, but they also have a long beak full of extremely sharp teeth that can inflict serious and deep puncture wounds. They primarily feed on smaller fish, catching them sideways with their beak and then swallowing them headfirst. Needlefish might not look very dangerous or fierce. They're not the biggest animals in the oceans or the scariest looking, but they have already claimed several human lives. In 1977, a needlefish attacked a 10-year-old boy in Kauai, striking him near his right eye. The boy was fishing on a boat with his father, but there was nothing anyone could do. The fish's beak penetrated the boy's skull so deeply it actually reached his brain. Tragically, the boy died. What makes needlefish particularly dangerous is their habit of leaping out of the water at incredible speeds, especially when startled by lights or sudden movements. These high-speed jumps, often exceeding 35 miles per hour, turn their sharp beaks into deadly projectiles. In fact, several injuries have been recorded where needlefish have impaled divers or swimmers unexpectedly. The biggest needlefish can reach up to 5 feet long, while the smallest can only grow up to 2 inches. If you ever encounter one of the bigger species, whatever you do not touch it. You do not want to make the beast angry. Some species of needlefish can even skim out of the water and roam the surface for a few yards, so if you were being attacked by one of these creatures, not even getting on dry land would necessarily save you. Their unpredictable behavior and speed make them a rare but real threat in tropical waters. Number 9. Portuguese man-o'-war. This creature is often called a jellyfish, but in fact, it's a species of siphonophore, which are closely related to jellyfish but are not quite the same. This creature is very unique in that it's comprised of a colony of genetically identical individuals. Yes, that's right, they are a colony of clones. Each clone has a different function, but they all work together as one. I mean, this sci-fi horror movie writes itself. The Portuguese man-o-war got its name because it looks very similar to an 18th century Portuguese warship. They are easily recognizable by their balloon-like float that rises up about 6 inches above the surface of the water. Lurking right under that balloon are long strands of tentacles and polyps that can grow up to 100 feet long. Those are the weapons of this bizarre creature. Those long tentacles contain stinging microscopic capsules loaded with barbed tubes that deliver venom so powerful it can literally paralyze a grown adult due to the excruciating pain. The sting of the Portuguese man-o-war isn't lethal to humans, but if you're unfortunate enough to experience it, you'll surely never forget the horrific pain that you will endure. So, if you see one of these in the water, swim as fast as you can. Number 8. Lionfish. The lionfish is a carnivorous fish native to the Indo-Pacific Ocean because, everything lethal seems to inhabit that area apparently. The lionfish is very colorful and beautiful. They're a pleasure to watch, but don't be fooled by its beauty. It has a very deadly secret. Even though they are very slow-moving, they are full of venomous spines, and that's why they have no known predators. Their venom causes extreme pain, nausea, and even paralysis in some cases, making them a nightmare for humans and marine life alike. Evolution did a good job on this one. It has no strength and no agility. It was a sitting duck until it developed these deadly spines all over its body. These spines are not just for defense. They also help the lionfish maintain dominance in its territory by deterring any potential threats. In the past 20 years, there have been many sightings of lionfish in the Atlantic Ocean, the Mediterranean Sea, and the Caribbean Sea. This invasive species is capable of consuming prey up to half its body size, further disrupting ecosystems by decimating populations of smaller fish and crustaceans. They are thought to have been released there by pet owners after realizing the lionfish would eat all the other fish in their tanks. This is predictably a massive issue because it's disturbing entire ecosystems as well as harming unaware divers. Where they come from, everybody knows to stay very far away from the lionfish. But in the Atlantic waters, some scuba divers might be mesmerized by its tropical appearance and get too close. If you ever see a beautiful lionfish in the water, whatever you do, don't touch it. Number 7. Sea snake. Did you know there's a species of snake that lives in the ocean? They're called coral reef snakes, and they are absolutely mesmerizing. Instead of slithering on land, they do so in the water. Cool, huh? They have a paddle-like tail that allows them to navigate the water perfectly. They still breathe air, but otherwise, they are completely adapted to aquatic life. Some even have the ability to hold their breath for up to 2 hours, allowing them to dive deep into coral reefs in search of prey. But don't be fooled by their gorgeous appearance and their grace. They're actually quite dangerous for us. Amongst the sea snake group are species with some of the most potent venom of all snakes. In fact, their venom can be up to 10 times more potent than a cobra's, making even a single bite incredibly lethal. Let that sink in, no pun intended. Some of them have a great and gentle disposition and will only bite when provoked, but some others are extremely aggressive, and those are the ones you've got to watch out for. Divers are often advised to avoid bright, flashy gear, as some sea snakes are known to be attracted to shiny or colorful objects. There have been many instances where snakes wrap coils around a diver's arms and legs, which is terrifying as it is, but then they might even go for the bite. That's when things get very tricky. If you don't treat a sea snake bite right away, you might very well die from it. Number 6. Sea lions. Sea lions have been in conflict with the human race for quite some time now. This animosity is called the human-wildlife conflict, and it means that animals cause substantial, direct, or recurring danger to the safety and livelihood of humans. Could you imagine a creature strong enough to cause us trouble out at sea, where we have gigantic boats and so on? Well, that would be the sea lion. First of all, they can get quite large. An adult male can reach up to 600 or 800 pounds and grow up to 8 feet long. There are many different species of sea lions throughout the world, from Australia to Peru to California, and unfortunately, they've been associated with aggression towards humans in the past. They might look very cute and cuddly, but let's not forget they are highly skilled predators. Some of them are extremely agile and fast, and some of them weigh more than your car. Sea lions are also outstandingly intelligent. In Peru, they've been worshipped throughout history and are still an active part of their culture today. There are many accounts of positive interactions with this animal, but in other parts of the world, where humans don't quite know how to enter their territory, it can end in tragedy for both species, sadly. Number 5. Bull shark. Many experts believe that bull sharks are the most dangerous sharks on the entire planet. This is due to the fact that they are aggressive hunters by nature, and also the fact that they are usually active in waters where people are present. No matter how you look at it, that's just a very bad combination. They are usually found in shallow ocean waters, but they've also been seen hundreds of miles up freshwater rivers. Basically, they are everywhere people enjoy a nice swim. What makes bull sharks particularly terrifying is their ability to thrive in both saltwater and freshwater due to their highly specialized kidneys that regulate salt levels. This adaptability allows them to swim up rivers and even inhabit lakes, bringing them into closer proximity to human activity. Bull sharks hunt alone, and they usually eat fish, but they have been known for preying on bigger animals and even other sharks. In other words, they are not picky eaters, and they are powerful enough to take down another shark. They have even been observed showing aggressive territorial behavior, attacking boats or anything they perceive as a threat. They are not an opponent you want to be faced with. Females can grow up to 11.5 feet long and weigh up to 500 pounds. Female bull sharks are bigger than the males, but yeah, they're pretty huge. In the water, sharks will always have an advantage over us, that much is clear. They're in their element, and on the other hand, we're not. But it's important to note that in a typical year, fewer than 20 people die from shark attacks, while more than 20 million sharks die in relation to the fishing industry. Despite their fearsome reputation, sharks, including bull sharks, play a vital role in maintaining marine ecosystems, keeping prey populations balanced and healthy. Number 4. Saltwater crocodiles. The saltwater crocodile often goes to the coastline to sunbathe in order to raise its blood temperature, and that's when the majority of accidents happen. When a wild crocodile isn't used to the sight of humans, they can consider them a threat and therefore attack. You really don't want an attack by one of these because the saltwater crocodile is a hypercarnivorous apex predator. This means that it doesn't have any natural predators in its habitat, and it also means it'll eat pretty much everything and anything you put in front of it that has a pulse. They don't have a particular taste for human flesh, but they are known for being aggressive towards people if they feel threatened. That's why they are considered a major danger for people who share a habitat with them. Any other apex predator that dares to wander anywhere near their territory will feel the full wrath of their powerful bite, and humans are no exception. Marine crocodiles mainly live in warm waters, and they are the largest species of crocodiles in the world. Their bite is extremely strong and deadly. They simply don't let go until whatever they're biting stops fighting back. And that's just hands down terrifying. Number 3. Tiger shark. Although it is important to note that shark attacks on humans are very rare, they are still a very powerful predator. If you're not experienced and happen to see one in the water near you, you would be very wise to immediately get out of the water. The tiger shark might just be among the most dangerous marine animals in the oceans. It isn't the biggest or the strongest of sharks by any means. What makes the tiger shark so dangerous is its personality. It is by far the most aggressive species out there. It lives worldwide in tropical waters and predominantly near the coast, so contact with humans is a daily occurrence. They can reach the staggering length of 18 feet and can weigh as much as nearly 1 metric ton. Not only are they extremely aggressive predators, but they also eat just about anything they find, even other sharks. They don't have the habit of attacking humans, but they would not hesitate if needed. In some areas, tiger sharks have attacked people, and due to their immense size, it can easily end in fatalities. It gets its name from the characteristic vertical lines that cover the sides of its body, so at least they're very easy to spot. Number 2. Box jellyfish. A fully grown box jellyfish can measure up to 8 inches long, but their tentacles can be 10 feet in length. They have about 15 tentacles laced with venom in each corner. That is a lot of venom. Box jellyfish are extremely dangerous. They can swim at 20 feet per minute, and they produce venom that is excruciatingly painful and can be lethal to humans. These creatures are so deadly there have been reports of them killing a great white shark. Just imagine how much power it takes to take down the ruler of the oceans. Yeah, you do not want to mess with this jellyfish. They have a complex nervous system and a relatively advanced sensory system compared to other jellyfish, which means they have an active, fish-like behavior. They can avoid obstacles and swim directly where they want to go, and that's why human fatalities are quite common. In Australia specifically, there are deaths each year attributed to the box jellyfish. In the Philippines, an estimated 20 to 40 people die each year from their sting. These are not your ordinary jellyfish. Their sting can kill a grown man, and they usually travel in very large groups. So, where you see one, there might be hundreds more waiting for you in the dark waters. Number 1. Stonefish. If you ever find yourself on a lovely beach in the Indo-Pacific region, and you see a muddy and rocky bottom of a marine area, either do not go into the water or wear heavy-duty rubber sole water shoes at all times. Why? Because that is the preferred habitat of the stonefish, a fish that looks exactly like any other rock around it. Sometimes, people can be standing an inch away from this deadly animal and not even know it. If you do unfortunately step on one of these, the 13 spines lining its back will release venom under pressure. The more that gets injected into your foot, the worse it is. This is such a dangerous animal, and it packs such a powerful venom that at best, it'll cause you excruciating pain, swelling, and necrosis, which basically means that your foot's tissue will die, resulting in amputation. At worst, it causes a slow and painful death. One woman was once stung on her finger, and she reported to ABC News that it felt like having each knuckle, then the wrist, elbow, and shoulder being hit in turn with a sledgehammer over the course of an hour, non-stop. So yeah, water shoes might not look cool, but in this case, they could very well save your life, and that's pretty cool. Beaches don't typically have specialized doctors or nurses on hand, so if you ever encounter one of these amazing creatures, it's best not to touch it. As you can see, the ocean is full of things that can either seriously hurt you or even kill you in minutes. I'm sure you'll think differently about the ocean next time you're on vacation. What about you? Have you ever had a run-in with a marine animal? Share your story in the comments below, and don't forget to check out the other cool videos on the screen. See you next time.